Hey, what's going on, everyone? Vega here for Serpent X Tech. Welcome back to another episode of Caffeine Crypto, where I welcome you to join me with your favorite caffeinated beverage of choice: coffee, energy drink, tea, whatever you got. If you don't like some caffeine, grab some water as we go over this week's crypto news. And as you can see, it's a beautiful green day, right? A lot of altcoins looking good, recovering nicely. I like it. Bitcoin is sitting around 85. Actually broke 85K right before the stream took off, which is good to see. Pi in the deep greens at 77 cents. I am not going to speak to that. I'll let you guys go ahead and meme on that one. Dogecoin around 16 cents right now. H-bar is up to, I think, 17. Yep, 17 cents, up 5%. XRP up 7%. 2015, and Ethereum over 1600, climbing towards 1700. Solana in the 130s, ADA in the 66 cents, and so on and so forth. SU also up 6.5 to $2.31. So yeah, beautiful green day. What's Caspa up to? 7 cents. Long way away from 15 cents. You know, kind of like Doge, been stuck at 15 cents, 20 cents for like the longest time. Never broke back to where a lot of people would like it to be. Ooh, VeChain's up 7%, up to 2 cents now. But yeah, so the altcoins are recovering. I wouldn't say, you know, go check your portfolio, you might be a millionaire, but they're definitely recovering. How long, right? Because this is predicated on Bitcoin. This is dependent upon Bitcoin. The week was definitely good, green, considering, you know, last week. But was that the bottom? Was that it? Or is there more pain to be felt? Well, I'm going to say that there's more pain to be felt as DJT and his administration continue to negotiate with the entire world, tariffing even islands with no population. But anyways, that's beyond my capabilities. You know, some people are negotiating. We got to pause. And we got exemptions, so to speak. Trump exempts phones, computers, and chips from new tariffs. Now, I want to predicate this, and I want to hear from you in the live chat, in the comment section below, or on the X, wherever platform you're watching. Have you had your miners, and are they still being confiscated, stopped, held at the border, country, import, whatever, right? Because a lot of miners were telling me some of their supply was held back because of security concerns with their miners, ASIC miners, whatever it might be. Are you still experiencing that? I want to hear from you down in the comment section or in the live chat. But while this is an exemption for phones and computers and chips, which will help us save money because, you know, ASICs have a lot of chips. GPUs have a lot of chips that are profound. Phones especially. So hopefully this will relieve that. And I do need to get my missus a new phone because one of my biggest concerns with hers is it's an old 7 SE. Like she really doesn't want to upgrade to new phones because she misses the home button. And I know iPhone users, that's stupid. I understand. But some people just have their certain things that they like about their device. So the reason I want to upgrade, though, is her battery is getting really, really hot. And my biggest concern is that phone kind of failing catastrophically. But moving on, smartphones and computers will be exempt from Trump's reciprocal tariffs. Trump earlier this month imposed 125% tariffs on products from China. I think that went up to 145 at one point in time. A move that was poised to take a toll on tech companies like Apple, which we had a number of news outlets talk about the impacts on Apple because like 90% of the iPhone, I think 85% of iPads, 70% of, you know, other electronics, whether it's the MacBook Pro or whatever, are made or assembled in China. The guidance also includes exclusions for electronic devices, components, including semiconductors. So that's CPUs, GPUs, stuff like that. Solar cells. A lot of the solar panels are made in those international countries. Flat panel TVs, right? Your 75-inch, your 55, 65, 85, whatever it is. Flash drives or NAND flash. Memory. They say memory cards, but that's going to be you know, like they say here, solid state drive, storage solutions, your DDR5, your DDR4, your GDDR6, your 7s, all that stuff. So it had wide reaching effect. And I actually already saw that some of the Gen 5 NVMe drives, one that I was planning to upgrade to, price had climbed pretty significantly. I don't know if it's going to level off like right away, because when somebody takes action, the markets, like the stock market, might react really fast and like right then and there in real time. But usually the pricing and the supply chain itself might take a while to take effect. So whether it's a situation that raises the price of a particular product or lowers the price of a particular product, it's not real time, but it does happen gradually over time. So we'll see how that SSD, I'm going to keep a track on that NVMe drive that I was looking at from Crucial to see how has the price adapted, because I should have got it on Black Friday, but I didn't, and I messed up, and then it just basically 5x'd in price. But anyway, smartphones, computers, and among many tech devices are exempt from the reciprocal tariffs. It was issued this past Friday after the early month imposed 145% tariffs on products from China, and the move was threatening to take a toll on all our big guys. The new tariffs guidance now includes exclusions for other electronics that we just mentioned. These products could eventually be subject to additional duties, but they are likely to be far lower than 145%. The exceptions are a win for tech companies like Apple, Google, Nvidia, AMD, etc., which makes more than 8% of its products in China. The country manufactures 80% of iPads and stuff like that, so on and so forth. And yeah, you know, TSMC is the biggest producer of chips for the wider market, but a lot of the assembly gets done in China. Going back to the charts, you know, over the week, let's see here. We started our week on, I would say, the 6th, Sunday the 6th, right? So you can see Sunday was a really red day to start the week. We fell all the way down about 7.88%. We fell a little bit further than that before we recovered. We fell all the way down 11.2%, right? And then once we hit those, we touched it twice. You can see these two green candles, or the wicks on these two green candles. So we're going to go from that area up to the high. We came up 15%. So we fell 11.22 and came up 14.27. So we're up higher than where we started. And you could see that these legacy lines here were back above it, which is a good sign. But will it be our support? Will that 82, which, because we showed strong resilience at 82,000. We saw strong resilience at 74, right? There was a lot of buying happening, as you can see from the volume candles, right? Compared to the red candles, we got two large green candles right here on both Monday and Wednesday, showing that there's a lot of support around 74. So for us to get to 70,000 dollar Bitcoin, it's definitely going to take, you know, a major news event, a black swan event, stuff like that. Not saying it's out of the realm of impossible. It's definitely still possible. And for us to fall right now, let's say we go through the week, we chop sideways, some big news comes back out, and we fall to this legacy line here, which you can see this yellow line. It's really hard to see because if I zoom in, you can't see it. But there's a yellow line right here, and it's going in an upward trajectory. And so if we fell after chopping sideways, let's say Tuesday, just speculating here, down to 72.9 or 72.8, that'd be a 14%. Again, not out of the realm of impossible. But I do think, depending on our leaders, not just the U.S. leaders, but the leaders throughout the entire world and their economic experts, if things go well, we can continue to move forward, right? But the administration is trying to clean up house, so to speak, and it's just going to impact everyone. And nobody can predict that guy. Just like nobody can predict Bitcoin, nobody can predict that guy, because he does one thing and he says another. So he's very hard to decipher, but I know that his motives are to make money. So he's going to try to make the U.S. An economic powerhouse, but right now his actions are causing a lot of fear in the markets, plain and simple, right? With the Dow lost 1,600 on one day, so many fears came out to roost on social. It was absolutely, I just stayed off of it. I'm not gonna worry about it. My 401k is good. I'm still collecting my Bitcoin. I'm still stacking my sats. I'm just not gonna look at it because there's just too much fear and fear mongering and FUD that I was just like, yeah, I'm just not gonna be a part of that. I'm gonna continue to play it cool. And I believe that Bitcoin in the long run will do very well. And as this article says here, Bitcoin is still on track for 1.8 million in 2035, says a particular analyst. Bitcoin's parallel thesis remains intact despite global trade concerns, projecting a Bitcoin price above 1.8 million during the next decade. Bitcoin remains on track to surpass 1.8 million by 2035, despite the corrections and waning investor appetite caused by global trade tensions, according to Joe Burnett. Speaking during Cointelegraph's Chain Reaction live show on X, Burnett said that Bitcoin is still in a long-term bullish cycle and could potentially rival or surpass gold 21 trillion market capitalization. Holy crap, what is Bitcoin's market cap right now? 21 trillion. Yeah, 1.6 trillion. So 21 trillion. Holy crap. That would be amazing. That would be amazing. Anyways, despite tariff uncertainty, limited risk appetite among investors, research analysts remain optimistic about Bitcoin's long-term prospects over the next decade. When I think about, and this is a quote from, I believe, Joe, it could be wrong. Yeah, Joe Burnett. When I think about Bitcoin will be in the next 10 years, there are two models to admire. One is the parallel model and suggests that Bitcoin will be about 1.8 million in 2035. That's crazy. The other is Michael Saylor's Bitcoin 24 model, which suggests Bitcoin would be 2.1 million by 2035. Burnett emphasizes that both are good base cases, adding that Bitcoin's trajectory could exceed these predictions depending on a broader macroeconomic factors. Obviously, you know, what we experienced over this past month with the trade concerns, tariffs, all that good stuff, those situations can have an effect on it. A major war, a huge conflict, a natural disaster could have, you know, enough weight to derail those projections. But 2035, guys, that's only 10 years away. And they're saying 1.8 and 2.1 million. What are your thoughts about that? Sound off in the comment section or down in the live chat. Do you think we could hit 2.1 or 1.8? Let's just say above 1 million by 2035 in 10 years? In 10 years, and we're not even at 100,000 right now. In 10 years. I mean, that's very optimistic. I would love for that to happen. I'm sure many of you would love for that to happen, but I don't know. Anyways, the automobile industry is significantly more valuable than the horse and buggy industry, Burnett said, adding that Bitcoin's more advanced technological properties will make it surpass 21 trillion market capitalization on gold. Yeah, I could see that. So I could definitely see Bitcoin flipping gold sometime in the future. I wouldn't say 10 years, but I could definitely see it in the future because of its capabilities. Don't forget, we still got quantum computing becoming stronger, and I'm pretty sure the concerns about making a quantum resistant algorithm and all that other stuff is still something that a lot of proof of work projects are working on. The gold market is estimated to be 21 trillion. If Bitcoin were to hit 21 trillion, the Bitcoin gold parity Bitcoin would be $1 million coin today. So that's what would be around, that's what would bring Bitcoin's price around 1 million, is the market cap hitting 21 trillion or close to 21 trillion. Again, we're at 1.6, let's say 1.7 round up trillion right now. For us to get another 20 or 19 in 10 years, I would need to see some significant market activity on the Bitcoin area. But you let me know what your thoughts are. Strong hands hold during the drawdowns, as both DJT said on Twitter or X and many others. You know, encouraging people to not be weak and be strong, but kind of in a backhanded way. A lot of people are saying the same thing about crypto, right? People that are holding Bitcoin or believe in Bitcoin continue to hold into Bitcoin. What's up, Dan? Thank you for the $1.99 donation. Racehorses greater than crypto. That's funny. But yeah, so strong hands hold their position. I told in the Jellyfish Discord, which if you're not familiar, Jellyfish is a Solana meme coin created by Brandon Coin and team, and they have their own Discord. I told them that I took profits on a couple of things, and what I mean by that is I took profits not in Bitcoin but in some of the altcoins, because I'm trying to see if I can even get to. I'm really trying, Tech Man, to Bitcoin conference. I know my boys got me on a ticket, but the flight, the stay, the food, the Ubers, I don't have that. So I'm trying my best to get there. I can't guarantee that I will be at Bitcoin conference, but I'm doing my damn best. But if you need tickets, links are down in the description. And obviously, if you buy a ticket through the link, it would show the convention. I don't even think I get a kickback. I think it's more or less you're hoping show them that they should continue to consider me for the future. Moving on, we got a quote here: rebalancing your portfolios, which I know a lot of people have been doing. With money flow out of the Bitcoin ETF, investors are looking for safer spots to hold their cash right now. Gold, a traditional vehicle in these cases, are to go to when the markets are uncertain. So yeah, a lot of the gold bugs were winning and being very prideful on social. But like I said, I'm diverse, right? Gold, 401k, real estate. Try to mitigate my debts. I'm still trying to pay down debts, which is why it's hard to go to these conferences as often as these other people can go. Cryptocurrency investments, just trying to diversify myself as much as possible. So if one fails, I still have the others to rely on. Moving on, Bitcoin to hit 250K this year, and Magnificent Seven to adopt stablecoins, Cardano founder predicts. So Charles Hoskinson's again saying that Bitcoin could hit $250,000 early as this year. So as early as this year to me means the end of 2025, or we could possibly see that in 2026. I still think we're still looking around $125,000, $130,000 Bitcoin at the end of 2025. I don't see a $200,000 Bitcoin, but I could be wrong. And again, I'm just some guy on the internet, and that's not financial advice. That's just me speculating with the data, like the market cap, the number of wallets, what's going on, so on and so forth. But yeah, Bitcoin hitting $250,000 as early as this year, with technology giants such as Microsoft and Apple entering the cryptocurrency space industry. Crypto markets have been hammered amid a sell-off of risk assets. Good God. Who gave all those memberships? Retro Mike, thank you, sir, for providing some memberships. Appreciate it. Gave one to Dan, Adam Williams, DJ Deathstar, Case Rocker, Sloths. Thank you so much. 199 from Dan says, if you're going, let me know. I'll be there. Yeah, I'm working on it. I will definitely, well, I would announce it. I'm also still working on that 30K giveaway for you guys. So stay tuned for that. Bear with me. Make sure to subscribe. Help get the channel to 30K. And I would like to do that 30K giveaway. I do understand I got two things I know for sure. A mini Doge 3 I'm giving away. And then I got some Bitcoin trackers, which I probably should have brought the box with me to show you off on it. But I'll do a dedicated video about the giveaway and the prizes that I'm giving or providing. By the way, Techman did ask at the beginning of this live stream, did Red Panda pick the winner? So I did a really cool video earlier this week where I collabed with, Hobbyist Miner, Geek of All Trades, Red Fox, Red Panda, Rabid Mining, Brandon Coin, Greater Good Mining. Sorry if I'm not naming everybody, but how have they adapted to the mining conditions in 2025? Because it's brutal. It's brutal, right? Cost of electricity is high. GPU mining suffering. So check out that video. But in that video, there is a giveaway. And you got to follow the instructions of the content creator. However, I am not aware if that content creator did the giveaway already. So make sure you follow them and keep an eye on their channel for updates, all right? Just make sure you keep an eye on that. Retro Mike did excuse me, Dan Ruggs did another $1.99. I dislike Retro Mike. Aw, I'm poor, pick me. Shut up, Retro Mike. Lies. You know what you're wealthy in, Retro Mike? Intelligence, because you're one of the more intelligent individuals I've met, and I have a huge amount of respect for you because of that. Like you're so knowledgeable, and the things that you do to help others and provide that knowledge to the masses, I really appreciate it. Dan, stop it. Stop doing the $1.99. Craig never wins. We'll see. We'll see. It's gonna be a Gleam.io giveaway. But yeah, stay tuned. It's still planned. It's just I would like to crest 30K before I do it, but we'll see. So we're about under 300 away from accomplishing that. Anyways, moving on. So we got, Michael Saylor and Joe talking about 1.8 million, $2.1 million Bitcoin by 2035. We got Charles Hoskinson, for IOHK, Cardano, calling for $250,000 Bitcoin by the end of 2025 or early 2026. I'm more in the 125, 130 range, but we'll see. Moving on, the market will stabilize a little bit, and they'll use that they'll get used to the new normal, and the Federal Reserve will lower interest rates, and then you'll have a lot of fast, cheap money, and then it will pour into crypto. Okay. Well, I don't see the Fed doing that this year. They might be able to do that next year, but we'll see. If we definitely could get, he says here in a quote, if Russia wants to invade Ukraine, it invades Ukraine. If China wants to invade Taiwan, it's going to do that. So treaties don't really work so well, and global business doesn't really work so well there. So your only option is to globalize crypto. I don't agree with that. But Charles is known to say some things. But we could disagree to agree. It doesn't really matter. The point is, $250,000 Bitcoin possibly by the end of 2025, 2026. That's the main takeaway. As far as all the other views that he has, I'll let you decide on that. Bitcoin price preparing for the up-only mode as U.S. bonds suffer the worst sell-off since 2019. What's interesting, though, and if you go watch Traveling Trader, is the DJT administration told us this was going to happen. They advised what they were trying to do well in advance. And they're doing it. It's hurting the market, but they're doing what they ultimately wanted to do. So yeah, bonds suffer. Market recovers because there were some pauses or adjustments to the tariffs. Arthur Hayes calls the up-only mode as a deepening crisis in the U.S. bond market potentially drives investors away from traditional haven assets and toward alternative stores of value. On April 11th, the benchmark U.S. $10 Treasury yield surged above 4.59%, its highest level in 2 months. And that was on, April 11th. The 29 trillion U.S. Treasury market has dropped more than 2% this week, its steepest decline since September 2019, when a liquidity crunch in the repo market forced the Federal Reserve to intervene. DJT, unpredictable tariff announcements and reversals have fueled the chaos after threatening sweeping levies on global trading partners. Trump walked back some of those measures within days of certain countries except China. The U.S. dollar added to the pressure with its strength against a basket of top foreign currencies as tracked by the DXY, dropping below 100 mark for the first time since 2022. So we got the dollar weakening, and we got the treasuries just pulling back a bit. I wouldn't say a lot, but they're definitely pulling back a bit. Furthermore, bonds. I'm not a big bond and treasury type person, but I know the bond market got hit. We will be getting more policy response this week. If this keeps up, we're about to enter the up-only mode for Bitcoin. Bond traders are now picking at least 3 rate cuts from the Federal Reserve by the end of the year, with a forthcoming increasingly likely rate cuts have historically been bullish for Bitcoin. Again, rate cut, price go up. Rate pause, price chop sideways. Rates go up, price go down. But yeah, Arthur Hayes saying up-only mode. That's what we're in. A lot of bullish news, as you can see from today live stream. Bitcoin whales are back. Here's 3 altcoins that you might want to be watching. I don't like these articles, but I'm just going to name the 3 altcoins. You tell me yay or nay. But they say BTC Bull, never heard of it. Mind of Pepe, never heard of it. Smog, never heard of it. So these articles like to promote these S coins, these altcoins. They might have gotten a payment. I don't think it's been disclosed or anything on here. Just like, you guys would expect of us content creators to disclose if we were, compensated for our review or anything. These articles should do the same thing, but I do not know. It does say it's trusted editorial content reviewed by leading industry experts, seasoned editors, but I do not see if they confirm they were compensated for talking about these 3 altcoins. But yeah, I never heard of it. And I'm staying away from new altcoins only because I don't have the money. Playing in altcoins, especially meme coins, when you have the money, can be fun. But you're going to lose on 10. If you have 10 plays, you're going to lose on 9 and probably win on 1. Right? So you just got to be very careful. Tron Weekly, I don't usually check out this news outlet, but Bitcoin breaks pattern. A new bull leg is starting. So we got some price gaps for 6 straight weekends, showing rising off-hour market volatility. Weekend moves often reverse midweek, making weekday sessions key for a trend confirmation. BTC remains bullish above 79K with breakout potential towards 94K or 88K is cleared. I think we're on the march right now for 88K. I'm not sure if we'll go down to 70K now. I still believe 72 is in the cards, but I'm not sure about 72K or 70K or below. Let's see here. Any questions? I don't see anything at me. Anybody saying anything? Did you just give away some more? Good golly, Miss Molly. Thank you, Case. Man, you guys are just gifting all kinds of freaking memberships. You guys are awesome. Appreciate you. Thanks so much. You guys are freaking rock stars. Case Rocker, on it, man. Got Crypto Bedell, Be More Stupid. I want to be more smart. Scott A, Frozen Crypto, Team JFK. Appreciate it. Thank you very much. All right, I saw something about Vegas. Okay, you guys are talking about going to Vegas for Bitcoin conference. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm still working on it. All right, caught up on chat. Don't see anything from X. And if you're watching from X, make sure to hit that little heart for me. That'd be greatly appreciated. Bitcoin surges more than 7% in broad market relief rally as Trump pauses some tariffs. Again, same news, more positive. We saw, the 10-year Treasury briefly climbed 4.5. Ethereum, Doge, and XRP around 12. Solana soared about 14. MicroStrategy up to 23%. Robinhood up to 24%. Coinbase up to 17%. So there was a lot of buying opportunities there. Again, not financial advice. Oh my God, Dan. Stop it with $1.99. No membership crack. Oh my God, you're tripping me out, Dan. It's good. It's good to see you back in the live chat. You're MIA for a minute there, but it's all good. Yeah. So there was some buying opportunities in there, right? When the market fell and we saw Bitcoin go down to 74K, there, Coinbase was down. The traditional tech stocks, Nvidia, AMD, were down. Your favorite cryptos or altcoins were down. There were some opportunities there, right? Ethereum hit like 14, I think, top of the 1300s. XRP was down. Solana was down. Like everything was down. But I think the reason why a lot of people are concerned about going and jumping into these coins right now is only because we don't know if there's going to be another leg down. Because it's still uncertain, right? It depends upon what the administration is going to do, how they're going to do it, so on and so forth. So we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, this week was a nice little rally. We started off bad. We rallied back. We recovered some. We're nowhere near what we were prior to, right? If we zoom out here, January was a really good month for us, right? December, January was a really good month for us. But then February started downhill. March downhill, and now April. But is this the bottom? It certainly looks like, if we zoom out, oops, it certainly looks that way, right? It certainly looks like I was expecting to come down to these legacy lines of 72, 70, 72,000, 70,000. But I'm okay with marching right back up. But I'm going to hold my breath, and I'm going to stack them sats, and I'm going to bide my time. Just be careful. All right. But yeah, I mean, if there's another leg down, and you could see, like, so you could get, if you could get Solana under $100, if you could get Ethereum, if you still believe in Ethereum, which I know a lot of people don't, if you could get Ethereum around 1,200, 1,300 or below, go for it. If you could get XRP sub $2, maybe consider it. I'm not a big XRP fan, but just look for some of these altcoins to be sub levels, and if you can accumulate. If you can't accumulate, don't do it. Pay your bills, do what you need to. Moving on, the US dollar index crashes, raising hopes of Bitcoin and altcoin prices. When the dollar's strong, Bitcoin suffers. When the Bitcoin's strong, the dollar suffers, or vice versa. We'll see how things go, but obviously the US dollar is suffering because all the tensions and what's going on with the tariffs and stuff like that. So there's a lot of indicators out there on if Bitcoin's going to do well versus the economy, right? Unfortunately, it's still, while many news outlets last week were calling for Bitcoin and the traditional markets to be decoupled, I didn't say they were decoupled, even though they were saying it was. It's still like a lagging indicator, or it follows one another. So it would be nice for them to decouple, but I don't think we're fully decoupled yet. So we just got to be patient on that. Thank you, Retro Mike, for the sticker. What are you guys doing? Oh my gosh. Shiba dog shaking his body from left to right, surrounded by red heart. What the heck? Why is it reading it to me? I could see it on YouTube, but it's reading it to me on the restream. Retro Mike, Dan, $4.99. Oh my God, you guys silly. $5 from Retro Mike, Dan, $9.99. Stop. Thank you guys. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Wow. It's been a while since we had this craziness. I appreciate it. You guys are funny. India's leading Bitcoin and crypto exchange, UnoCoin, integrates Lightning. So Lightning Network is now supported on UnoCoin. And I know you guys may not care about it, but it's a lot of my my family from India. And when I mean family, they're not blood family, but crypto mining supporters of the channel. A lot of you are in India, and I thank you very much. And I met many of you at some of these conferences, so I appreciate you. So yeah, make sure to share some love with our international community. We're all crypto miners. We're all supporters of Bitcoin and some of the other assets or proof of work. It's just good spirit environment. But yeah, UnoCoin, a major exchange, or one of the major exchanges in India, integrates Lightning Network for Bitcoin payments. So that's good to see. New York bill proposed legalization of Bitcoin for crypto for state payments. Now, state payments, I wonder what that accumulates, but the bill is actually called Bill A, as an apple, 778, introducing the Assemblyman Clyde Vanell, or introduced by them, seeks to amend state financial law to allow the New York state agencies to accept cryptocurrencies in the form of payment. I'm not sure. Yeah, here we go. So that would include fines, civil penalties, rent, rates, taxes, fees, charges, revenue, financial obligations, or other amounts. So if I wanted to pay, I would assume my property taxes, or if I wanted to pay, maybe I got a ticket, right? A law, some type of regular infraction, not a big infraction, but a regular infraction. Like I was careless driving or speeding. I could pay in crypto, and that's just going to help New York, right? As more and more of these states become more accepting of crypto, especially of Bitcoin, we're going to see the avenues grow, the use cases grow, the acceptance grow, which is just going to strengthen Bitcoin and the wider market. And we had a lot of wins like that, across the board this week. So a lot of positive news this week, despite the past few weeks being very, very bullish. Moving on, XRP, Solana, and Dogecoin lead altcoin comeback after Trump tariff pause. We talked about some of those gains. Again, some of them went up 12%, 14%, Some even saw close to 20% depending on the altcoin that you're looking at. So yes, after we had some pauses, some, hey, we're negotiating, which is exactly what DJT and the administrator are trying to do. Huge tariffs on everything, except for China was paused, but they're trying to get them to the table to negotiate prices, to adjust some things. I may not, and I don't want you guys to go and get your pitchforks and your rocks. I may not agree with the strategy, and I don't agree with everything they do. But I see they announced what they were planning to do from the jump. I just wish they would have done it more, with a little bit more finesse, with a little bit more understanding of, because you're not just impacting the market. When the Dow drops 1,600 points, you're messing with people's 401ks that've been working all their life and don't have a lot of money. You're messing with regular folks' money, the farmers, the people working hard to keep this country moving forward. So you should have been a little bit more finesseful and clarity, definitely, for the regular folks. Moving on, BitMEX CEO explains how perpetual swaps test altcoin value. Perpetual swaps contracts are a type of crypto trading contract that lets traders bet on the price of a coin without actually owning it. The derivatives products function similarly to futures contract. However, it never expires, which means that traders can hold that position as long as they want. Lutz from Cointelegraph told them that perpetual swaps are important to track because newly launched perpetual swaps allow traders, I'm giving you information, newly launched perpetual swaps allow traders to short the underlying altcoin for the first time. This is what they call true price discovery begins. Perpetual swaps play a key role in price discovery for a newly launched altcoin and are a strong sign of market sentiment, as they're often the first derivatives product to be launched. Tracking these positions can reveal directional bias. It can be an indicator to show you or prepare you for a move. Perpetual swaps often lead to spot price movements. Because of high liquidity and leverage involved, a surge or a drop can pull spot prices along with it. This means that observing the intricacies of perpetual swap data can also benefit spot market traders. That's it. That's all I wanted to share with you. That's it. Moving on, somebody got a fucking solo block, baby. Somebody hit a solo block. And I think we just hit another one earlier this week, or no, the previous week, I think. So congratulations, whoever it is. You don't have to reveal yourself. And I would prefer you guys did not reveal yourself. If you guys hit a solo block, I know some of your favorite content creators are saying that they would, tell everybody, but I wouldn't recommend it. Okay? I would not recommend it whatsoever. Yeah, I was talking about that earlier, Retro Mike, right here. Trump exempts phones, computer chips from new tariffs, which is huge for, chip makers, right? iPhone, Android, Google, AMD, stuff like that. But no, it's definitely huge news. Matter of fact, we'll have to go to X and find the post and go from there. But yeah, solo block found. And I think a solo block was found not too long ago as well. So, there is a chance. There is a chance for people to hit these solo blocks. It's very small. But there is a chance. So congratulations. But again, I would prefer you guys did not disclose if you did, get a block. I would prefer you didn't. A lot of people, was funny is a lot of people yesterday were like, oh, Rabbit Mining hit a block. Rabbit Mining hit a block. And Rabbit came out, was like, no, I didn't hit a block. I didn't hit a block. I wish, but I didn't hit it. So yeah. Just be mindful, especially if you disclose a lot of your information, that you just don't, if you hit a block, just keep it to yourself. Enjoy it. Do what's best for you and your family and your configuration, but enjoy it. You don't have to tell everybody you want a Bitcoin block and have over 200,000 plus. You know what I mean? Just keep it to yourself. You don't have to tell everybody everything. You don't have to flaunt your wealth. You don't have to showcase your boob job or your ass job or whatever that job you got. Like, it's okay to keep stuff to yourself. And consumer confidence is low. I'm still mining a bunch of stuff. Trying to accumulate as much as possible. We're gonna chill out and watch some Red Panda here in a minute, but we're gonna watch some CNBC News update for this past week or day, see what's going on. Red Panda is doing some GPU cleaning in a little bit, and I'm gonna get some stuff done here around the house, but that's pretty much today's episode, and we're already at 11:42. Like, we still got over 15 minutes. So what do you guys want to do? What do you guys want to talk about? Anybody got anything that they want to talk about? I mean, it is huge news, Retro Mike, that you know, we got an exemption on chips, right? Definitely helps out. Oh, 22's in the chat, so DJ's got to be around. Where's DJ? DJ. There he is. What's up, DJ? Hope you're doing well. I must run. Have a great day. Oh, sorry, Dan. I didn't see it in time. Take care, bud. Why not disclose taxes? Well, so no, it's not. Don't disclose the fact that you hit a Bitcoin block because of taxes. Like, you obviously need to report that. If you hit a Bitcoin block, you definitely want to report that to your whatever country's taxes, professionals, IRS, whatever. But for your own personal safety, that's just me, DJ. Like, I understand why you guys would announce it. I just would not, because, like, last thing I want is somebody trying to run up in my house and force me. And this has happened. We saw 2 weeks ago, right? Some crypto influencers, not crypto miners, but crypto influencers, you know, were held at gunpoint. You know, homegirl brought the guys that were, you know, holding her at gunpoint to some room that homeboy was sitting in his man cave, and he got a couple shots off, wounding one of them. But, like, I don't want to put that risk on my family. You know, like, I'll throw down. Like, you walk into my house unauthorized, like, that's it. Like, it's game on, baby. We about to throw down. Somebody's gonna get shot. But I don't want to put that risk on my kids, on my woman. So while I may say I own or mine or participate in a particular asset, I don't want to disclose what I actually have, because that makes me a target. You may not see it that way, but yeah, it's definitely a concern of mine. I'm doing all this for them. Like, that's why I'm doing all this. Like, I could spend every single cent of crypto that I have on going to these crypto conventions and partying hardy and throwing down and driving fancy cars, and all. I could, but I'm not doing it for that. I'm doing it to build financial freedom for my family, because I didn't have that luxury when I was younger. I had to work. I've been working since I was 13. Documented, of course. I'm not Mexican. Stop calling me Mexican. I'm Puerto Rican. But yeah, you know, they say Puerto Ricans don't work. That's bullshit. Because my uncle, I was hanging out with him yesterday. He worked on a lot of the skyscrapers. Matter of fact, he worked on Trump Tower. You know, building, like, you know, when the frame is going up and you're up that high and connecting the steel girders and riveting, you know, like, that was my uncle. So, you know, a lot of my family helped build up New York, and then I came down here, and a lot of my boys, not blood related, but like my guys, like my Ed, Paul, Mikey, like the guys, we helped build Jacksonville, right? Whether it was carpentry, construction, siding, roofing, pools, like there's a lot of pride in the guys that are down here, you know, still crawling in attics, still throwing down, still doing that hard work. So there's a lot of pride behind that. So definitely want to continue to contribute to the world as best as we can. In my case, I turned it from, I have a lot of knowledge in construction, but I turned it from sharing that construction knowledge to sharing the whatever the knowledge is for computer electronics, technology, crypto mining. That's my main thing. I still need my hands, so my hands are my money makers, but I want to provide as much to the world as I can using my mental capacity, and I don't want to risk that. Hey man, hard work. Hard work. I love it. Had the whole neighborhood unlocked. That's what I love, man. Yeah, I mean, it's that camaraderie too, right? That's what I miss. DJ, you probably still are around it, given your profession, but I really do miss the teamwork, the camaraderie, you know, the joint effort to accomplish a mission, a goal, stuff like that. But yeah, so chips, you know, GPU prices. Matter of fact, let's go look real quick. What is Newegg selling a RTX? Let's go look at the GPU prices real quick. Actually, you know what's really better than that? Let's go to PC Part Picker. Oh, new build. Let's go look for the 9950 X3D. There it is. So 859. Good golly, Miss Molly. Okay, it's because a third party is selling it. Okay, so the listing price is $699, but they're out of stock. But a third party is selling it for $859 on Amazon. All right, what about the 9800 X3D? All right, $479 in stock on Amazon right now. Cool. That's the CPU I have now. I'd like to get the 9950 X3D. I'm sure Rabbit has it, or is about to build it, and you guys already saw the video or are going to see the video. But I definitely like it. Like to have it too. I want to look at GPUs. So let's go to video cards. What do we got here? So 4060, 9070 XT. We got $1,000 on a 9070 XT. Oh, third party again. Okay. Should be $879, but it's selling for $1,000 for some reason. 6600, 3060, 5090 Founders Edition for $5,000 on Amazon. Again, third parties. Third parties taking advantage of everything. I want to see some like in-stock prices, please, ladies and gentlemen. 5070 Ti for $969. Is that right? Is that the actual MSRP? I don't think that's the MSRP, right? I never mess with the 5070s, 5070 XT. Or Ti, excuse me, not XT. Yeah, $699 stock for the 5070. But right now being sold for $886. Yeah, I wouldn't mess with these. GPU market's nice right now, so if you're trying to offload some of your GPUs, I would say go for it. I probably should offload some of my GPUs. I just haven't yet. Like I still believe that there's going to be a mining opportunity, and I could always just buy back some new GPUs later on. But there's better uses for it. Like some of my son's friends needs a GPU, so maybe I'll just give them a GPU just to stop them from playing freaking games on an integrated graphics in their CPU. I feel so bad for them. It's like, oh, that's horrible. So horrible. But yeah, I don't know. Let's go to SSD prices. Let's go look. There's a specific SSD that I'm looking for. The Crucial. You guys should know what it is. The Crucial T705, I want to say. But let's see here. So 2280. I want a Gen 5 only. By 4. NVMe, yes. Yeah, T705, 4 terabytes, $700. What the? No. Oh, that's because everywhere is out of stock. Fudge. I should have got it, dude. I could have got it for like $186 on Black Friday. I should have got it. I should have got it. There's a new Samsung too that just came out, which is pretty daggone fast. Out of stock. $705. Let's sort by price. I definitely want to change the storage. So let's go look at, I want 2 terabytes or above for my Gen 5 drive. What's the new Samsung drive? I forgot the name. It's definitely something. I think it's the 900 Pro. Let's go look it up. Samsung 9100 Pro. Red Panda mining should be coming on in about 9 minutes. Hang tight. Yeah. This is it. 9100 Pro. It's got 14800 and 13400 as far as speeds. So I think the T07 beats it in a couple categories. Wow, yeah, look at that. 2 terabytes sold out. Yeah, how's this? 1 terabyte's not going to do it for me today. With all the content that I'm doing, especially in 4K, like I edit, I record, edit, I record, dump on the main drive, edit, finalize it, 4K footage, encoded, so that's more stuff on the main drive. Once it's finalized, project uploaded, I then move it to platter storage, large scale, 20 terabyte drives. So 1 terabyte drive is not going to do it, especially with all the games that I install, and I do have other drives that I install my games on. I mean, look at it. Like, I got enough space, guys. But I do want a Gen 5 drive. I know a lot of people won't see the space that they have on a day-to-day, but I got 120 terabyte drive that's main storage, and then this is redundant. It's empty. It's going to be a copy or image. But yeah, my C drive, it's already almost full, and it's a 2 terabyte drive. So I offloaded some of the games onto another 2 terabyte drive, which is almost full as well. 534 gigabytes left. And then I have another drive that's 1 terabyte. That's 300, and plus AI, right? Like, the stuff takes up space. So 1 terabyte NVMe SSD for your standard OS, if you only gonna have 1 drive, is not enough. So I need 2 terabytes or above. It would be nice to get the 4 terabyte one, but you can see how expensive they are. We got the Crucial TO700, which is not as fast. I forgot what the read and write speeds are. Does it show it? Let's see here. Yeah, so this is 12400 and 11800, which is not bad. It's just the price is up there. Like, I don't want to spend that kind of money. But yeah, I'm going to wait for Black Friday this upcoming year. Maybe there's a new Gen 5 drive that's out that I really would like to get, but we'll see. All right, Red Panda Mine is coming up here in just a moment. Everybody's chit-chatting amongst each other. I appreciate you guys hanging out and stopping by. DJ, I hope you and the missus are doing well. Take care of yourself. Let's watch some CNBC News real quick, and then I will let you guys head on over to Red Panda. Which should be live here in just a moment. Let's refresh. Yep, there it is. And feel free to hit me up. You got any questions, comments, concerns? What's up? Has anyone heard of timeline for Dynex web wallets being fixed? No, I have not. Crypto Pounder ask.
Bitcoin struggles to hold on to yesterday's rebound. Senate confirms President Trump's pro-crypto nominee Paul Atkins as SEC chair. And Catherine Dowling, general counsel at Bitwise, reacts to Atkins' confirmation and recent regulatory advancements on Capitol Hill.
Barbecuing for the fam, DJ. Nice. Nice.
Welcome to CNBC's Crypto World. I'm Tanea McKeel. Crypto markets looking to hold their footing following President Trump's decision to pause many of his sweeping tariffs for 90 days. As of noon Eastern, Bitcoin climbed nearly 2% over the past 24 hours, trading at $78,000, but that's after jumping to the $83,000 level yesterday afternoon, right after Trump's announcement. Ether inched toward $1,500, and Dogecoin rose 2.5% after 21 shares filed for a spot ETF tied to the meme token in the U.S. Meanwhile, most crypto-focused stocks were falling around midday. One big outlier is Janiver, the software.
I want to read a comment here from Squirrel Master. He says that Crucial SSDs, they will never buy again. Too many of them die too fast. I have not had that experience, but I'm going to take your comment into account. And maybe I'll go Samsung, because I had no issues with Samsung. But remember the Samsung 990, I think, Pro, or 9 something Pro were overheating and killing themselves. But I would take your comment to account. Thank you and appreciate that. Frogman says, I got rid of all my BC250s, all the old P104s. So these are GPUs used for crypto mining. I have 0 at the moment, just not worth it. I'd like to get a cell hasher case and try to find some phones to mine, but not sure. Cell phone mining has been blowing up. You know, whether it's Bitcoin, Retro Mike, do you do that Bitcoin mining app? I know Retro Mike does Verishash, or Veriscoin. CPU mining through your cell phones or smartphones has grown in popularity. Retro Mike has a lot of good videos on that, and some of my other colleagues in the space have a lot of videos on that if you are interested.
Our company made headlines earlier this week when former Kraken execs took majority ownership. Now it was up by roughly 40% midday as the company begins to buy Solana. And taking a look at Jack Dorsey's Block for a moment, shares of the company fell by more than 7% after it reached a $40 million settlement with New York State regulators. The Department of Financial Services accused the payments firm of failing to comply with money transmitter and virtual currency regulations. We reached out to Block, and a spokesperson told us this marks the resolution of all previously pending state money transmission license matters, and that Block did not admit to any of the department's findings. Be sure to stay with CNBC for the latest market moves as prices have been changing rapidly over the past few days. All right, let's talk about the top stories. President Trump's pro-crypto nominee for SEC chair, Paul Atkins, got the green light from the full Senate. The upper chamber confirmed his nomination in the 52
There he is. There he is. Jamming out some music.
44
Let's give him a second to get settled.
Atkins, widely
and I'll
viewed
send you
as
guys
a
over there.
champion
Don't
of
forget,
crypto, is
30K
expected
giveaway
to be
coming up
friendlier
soon.
toward the industry compared to his predecessor, Gary Gensler, whose approach of regulation by enforcement made him an adversary of the crypto world.
Yeah, this is a huge win for us too, by the way. Paul Atkins becoming the SEC chair. Huge win for crypto. So there's a lot of positive news this week compared to the past couple weeks. We'll see how things go. Keep your head down. Keep stacking the sats. Keep mining crypto. Good luck. I hope you hit a Bitcoin block. If you guys believe, go ahead and pray and pray for my family to hit a Bitcoin block, because we could definitely use it. I really appreciate the $1.99, the $5, the $2 that you guys donated earlier today, Retro Mike and Dan. Really goes a long way. I know YouTube takes a good portion of that, but I really appreciate all the support you guys give, because it's helping me out with my dad and his blood cancer. My brother who passed away, leaving his 2 sons behind, and the trials and tribulations that we all go through. I am not special. I'm not saying I'm special, but I just wanted to say I thank you for your support. I did start a GoFundMe. I am not linking it in this live chat. I'm going to see if it happens to take off on its own organically for my dad who needs a transplant and for the boys who lost their father. But you guys just being here, just liking, just subscribing is all I ask for. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything. And I thank you very much for your support. So you guys head on over to Red Panda Mining. Thank you so much for hanging out with us today. A lot of positive news. Stay positive. Stay happy. Don't let the outside world and all the concerns and FUD and fear impact you. Focus on what you want and achieve those goals. And if I can help in some form or fashion, let me know. I would definitely do all I can. All right? So do me a favor on the way out. Hit that like button, get subscribed, hit notification bell to stay up to date, as well as check out additional links in the description. That'll support the channel and what we do here, and you just have yourself a wonderful day. Take care, and I'll catch you in the next one.